Welcome to Bauer Beauty. I'm an esthetician and I own a skincare line called Bauer Beauty. And we create clinical formulations specifically for sensitive skin. I personally have sensitive skin, and a lot of people I dealt with over the years, I noticed a trend over the years, people dealing with sensitive skin and misinterpreting it for acneic skin or other types of skin diseases. The actives I'm going to tell you about today are all designed for sensitive skin. Therefore, if you typically get irritated by glycolic acid or salicylic acid or vitamin C, keep watching because these actives will probably not irritate you. Of course, there's just always a chance that, someone is going to have an allergy or someone is going to be irritated by something. So it's not obviously a perfect solution, but we do the best we can in catering to this skin type. So let me tell you the basis for how I think of skin health and think of anti-aging and design every single routine. The way to promote skin health is to slightly damage the skin in a controlled way and heal the skin in a controlled way. It's like equal parts controlled healing, controlled damage. Your skin has to be healthy and healed enough in order to damage it, because if your skin is already damaged and you go to damage it some more, you're not going to do any good. You're going to do more harm than good. You're going to work in a counterproductive manner. So you have to heal the skin after you damage it. Does that make sense? When I say damage, I mean that's what lasers are doing. That's what chemical peels are doing. That's what microneedling is doing. You are inflicting damage in the skin so it is forced to change and it is forced to grow new cells, new collagen. And so yes, my whole anti-aging philosophy is based on that. So sensitive skin as well needs to be on that program of controlled damage and controlled healing. So the products I'm going to show you today are in that controlled damage category. I have 4 and then 1 that's kind of like in between, which I will talk about. So the first one I'll tell you about is the Encapsulated Retinol Cream. And this is literally almost gone, which is very unfortunate. This smells so good. So this cream is a 0.05% encapsulated retinol ceramide complex. So the retinol in here is encapsulated, which means that it is going to be a more slow release formula, which means it's actually a little more gentle. The ingredients to all of my products are written on the actual jar. And so this is a water base with a safflower oil. So it's an oil in water emulsion, which every type of moisturizer has some type of, most moisturizers have a balance of water and oil. It's either oil in water or water in oil. And this is oil in water suspension. It's a fairly short ingredient list. It's not the shortest I have, but it's maybe like 20 ingredients or so. It contains ceramides. It contains, like I said, safflower oil. It contains retinol palmitate and retinol. It contains hyaluronic acid, silicone, which is one of my personal favorite ingredients. And it's a very light but emollient formula, meaning it's not going to be heavy on the skin, but it does a lot without being heavy, if that makes sense. So it's light but emollient. When you put it on your skin, you smell the natural retinol in it. It's not fragranced. None of my products are fragranced. And you smell the natural retinol and it's an amazing smell. I'm so addicted to it. And the first couple times you use it, it will make your skin probably a little red because it is very active and very strong. But what I like about it is because it contains those healing emollient ingredients like safflower oil, vitamin E, and ceramides, it is going to still help to heal the skin while it damages the skin, which is why I love this formula so much. And because of its viscosity, because of the fact that it's thin and watery, but really emollient, it absorbs into the skin very well. But you will see how my hand is like a little luminous, because you will see your skin visibly moisturized after you apply this because of the viscosity, because of the water and oil balance is just incredible. It is so amazing. I recommend using this every single night if you are not on a prescription retinoid. If you are on a prescription retinoid, then I recommend switching on and off. Use your prescription retinoid for a week, use this for a week, or switch off every 2 nights or something along those lines that work for your skin. Because skin confusion is really beneficial because it challenges your skin. And every time your skin is challenged to work a little harder, it improves its health and its vitality and its resilience. So highly, highly recommend. The next product I'm going to talk about is a product that's not sold on Amazon. All of my products are sold on Amazon except for my beta hydroxy acid, and this was just because some restrictions on Amazon made it very, very difficult for me to sell this product on Amazon. So rinse off 2% BHA liquid exfoliant. It's semi-new to the industry. I have not seen a rinse off salicylic acid solution other than cleanser. Most salicylic acid toners are leave-on. So you apply it and you leave it on the skin, versus this one you rinse it off. And why does that matter? Well, I historically have always been aggravated by beta hydroxy acid, by salicylic acid, until I used this one, until I started rinsing the formula off. Salicylic acid is indicated for acne, but I actually don't recommend this for acneic skin because of my target market. My target market is women 25 to 55 basically. And so this is the stage of life which normally you are not getting the type of breakouts that require salicylic acid. It would be more in the benzoyl peroxide category. However, you know, obviously there are exceptions. This is a great spot treatment for acne if you have a whitehead. There are two types of pimples. So the ones that are under the skin, you don't want to use salicylic acid, but the ones that have a whitehead, the ones on top of the skin, 100% you can use this as a spot treatment. I still don't recommend it as an all-over product. However, what I use this for is anti-aging and to clean out my pores, and that is because salicylic acid is the only acid that can exfoliate inside of the pore, which translates to it's going to break up that dirt and oil and exfoliate that wall of the pore that holds on to different dirt and oil and appears as either larger pores or blackheads on the skin. Why I love that is because I am oily and therefore my pore size is larger. And when I use something like this, it helps to shrink my pores because it's exfoliating inside the pores, and it's good for anti-aging if you have texture from pores or texture in general. Also, because I am oily, I love to put this on a cotton round in the morning, and every morning just put it on my nose and then rinse it off. It's a rinse off formula. I do not leave it on, especially if I do it every day. I do not put this on my full face every day, and I don't recommend you do that either. However, if it's just in a concentrated area, like right here or right here, you know, if you're just working on a concentrated area, then I definitely recommend putting this on every day in those areas and then rinsing it off after a minute or 2 minutes or whatever. Now, to use it as an all-over face treatment in an anti-aging manner, what I recommend is after cleansing, morning or evening, apply this to either your palms and rub into the skin, or apply to a cotton round and apply onto the skin. And let it sit for a minute or two and then rinse it off. You could do this a second time if you wanted to, but it's so strong, I only do it once. This contains 3 ingredients: water, alcohol, and salicylic acid. Now, when I first saw this, did not want alcohol in this formula, but I am not a chemist. Okay, I'm a blogger and an esthetician. Based on what my chemist said, alcohol was really good for this formula because it improves the solvency and the penetration of this ingredient. Salicylic historically has irritated me, but in this form, it does not. I think it's because it's a rinse off. So yeah, technically you could rinse off any salicylic acid product, right? But the key difference is that this is strong enough to leave on for a couple of minutes and make a significant difference in your skin before you rinse it off. Now, can you do that with Paula's Choice 2% BHA? Not necessarily. When I used that, it didn't feel very strong for me compared to this. This is very strong. It's also, as you heard from the ingredients, not buffered with anything. It sits at a lower pH than most over-the-counter acids. This has a pH of between 2 and 3, and this is multi-use as well, which is why I love it. I use this on my face. I use this after I shave. After I get in the shower, I pour some of this on my legs and my bikini and my underarms, like wherever I shave, I apply this afterwards, and it prevents razor bumps completely. I use this on my scalp if I get psoriasis or if my scalp is like itchy or something. So it's very multi-use for me. It's like, if you have been watching me for a while, it's kind of ironic that this is one of my most used products personally because of the fact that I absolutely did not like salicylic acid, but I wound up sourcing this product because it was in high demand. A lot of you guys wanted a product like this, so I just created this in order to create a new approach to salicylic for sensitive skin. I recommend following with, if you do this in the morning, I recommend following with the vitamin C serum or the barrier serum or both, and obviously sunscreen. At night, I recommend following with the peptide serum or the barrier serum or both, and a moisturizer. Now let's talk about the Bauer Beauty Glycolic Acid Peel. This is a 7.5% alpha hydroxy acid complex, but we call it the glycolic acid peel. Fell in love with this the moment I tried it and saw it because it is so unique. It is minimal ingredients, as many of my products are. Less ingredients are better for sensitive skin. So this contains water as a base, and then it has glycolic acid, kojic acid, which is specifically good at brightening pigment, lactic acid, which is also specifically good for brightening, but it's also very hydrating, and it contains pyruvic acid, which is a very gentle alpha hydroxy acid that behaves similarly to glycolic acid. And then we also use xanthan gum in here to thicken up the formula a little bit. So this is what it looks like. So it's kind of like, you know, a little bit of, it's watery thin, but it has a little bit of thickness to it. So I do this in the morning, and it's not necessary. You can do this at night. It's just, I have developed a habit of using this in the morning. Like both of my acids, you can use this in the morning or the evening. In the morning, what I do is after cleansing, I do a very gentle cleanse with an oil cleanser in the morning. I dry off my skin, and then I apply 1 syringe to my entire face and neck. I leave it on for about 5 minutes, and then I add water to reactivate it, because within that 5 minutes or so, it's dried down a little bit. And so once you add water to reactivate it, you feel like a sudden surge of tingle. So this is one thing you need to always be careful with when trying new acids, or just in general with acids, is once you add water again, you're gonna reactivate it and it comes back even stronger. So what I like to do is then once I add that water and reactivate it, I massage it around and I massage it in for maybe another minute or so. And then I rinse it off completely. You are going to feel and see a visible difference in your skin. That's what I love about this product. You see an actual difference in your skin, and you feel an actual difference in your skin. Like your skin feels so freaking soft. It is crazy. Acid, alpha hydroxy acid. There are 2 different types of acids, which is why I have 2 different types of acids. There's beta and alpha. Alpha is an umbrella that has many different acids under that umbrella. It has glycolic. All of these are alpha hydroxy acids that I listed, in addition to so many other alpha hydroxy acids. However, there's only one beta hydroxy acid, which is salicylic acid. So those are the 2 categories. And then there's PHA as well, but that's another story. What acids do is they are molecules that penetrate the skin and slightly irritate the skin, so the skin is motivated to produce more collagen because the skin gets damaged a little bit. Simultaneously, it kind of melts away dead layers of skin, as well as dislodges skin cells that have been kind of glued together and are just kind of like dead to the world and need to be broken up and shook up and sloughed off. So that's what acids do. So they are mandatory to any routine for healthy skin. And the Bauer Beauty ones are a good place to start because they're designed for sensitive skin. Also, if you're a beginner, you're going to find these very useful. Okay, now I am going to talk about one of my most used products. It's my vitamin C brightening serum. I just received this. This is a brand new one. I missed it so much. I'm going to show you the consistency. This is a vitamin C serum that uses 3 vitamin C derivatives. It is extra potent, extra antioxidant dense. What I really like about this is the fact that it it definitely replaces my hyaluronic acid. I definitely would never use a hyaluronic acid with this because of the fact that this contains hyaluronic acid, and as you can see, it kind of behaves like one as well. This is the ingredient list. It's very short. It has water, propylene glycol, and then it has sodium ascorbyl phosphate, which is vitamin C, ascorbyl glucoside, which is a vitamin C, and then magnesium ascorbyl phosphate, which is a vitamin C. And then it has hyaluronic acid, and then it has preservatives. This is the ideal vitamin C for me as a daily. It's kind of like the multivitamin of vitamin C's because it's one that you can use every single day without ever worrying about irritation. Of course, unless you have an allergy to one of the ingredients, then you will experience irritation. So this is an incredible, incredible product. It's one I really can't live without because I use retinoids and I use acids, and so sometimes I can't have too strong of a vitamin C in the morning because I just get irritated. I switch on and off from a strong one to a lighter one, and this is my lighter one, and this is the one that I use the most and is kind of a non-negotiable in my routine, and I don't know any other ones on the market that are like this. After cleansing in the morning, I dry my skin off and then I apply this. You can apply it to either dry or damp skin. I usually apply it to dry skin because I want it to be a little bit more aggressive. This vitamin C is specifically good for brightening because of the magnesium ascorbyl phosphate, and the ascorbyl glucoside is specifically good for brightening pigment. And then after I put this on, I follow with the barrier serum to lock it in, and then I put sunscreen on. And I only use this in the morning. You could use it morning and evening because it is an antioxidant, so it's always going to be great for the skin, but that's just how I do it because I have other serums that I use at night. So now the last serum I'm going to tell you about is our Niacinamide Serum. This one's on the border between being active and hydrating. It is restorative, but it's also brightening. And so anytime you have something brightening, and if it lightens the pigment, then that would be considered more active, but it's also restorative and repairing. So it kind of walks the line. This is a niacinamide serum with zinc. It's a very incredibly unique formula. It actually comes in a pump for the most part. I changed the bottle to a pump, but we still have some droppers out there, but the formula is incredible. Look at how syrupy it is. It's syrupy, which is giving the feeling of stickiness, right? But that's just not how this formula is. It's, yes, syrupy, but it melts into the skin. It is unbelievable. You can use this morning or night. It's a 5% niacinamide serum, which is the ideal percentage, especially if you are sensitive. There are a lot of companies out there that use 10% or 20% or 12%, and a lot of you guys have probably been irritated by those products. That's why you need a 5%. We aren't the only company to make a 5%, but I think our formula is particularly amazing. The ingredient list is incredibly short. It contains water, it contains glycerol, it contains hyaluronic acid, niacinamide, zinc. It's quite a short ingredient list, as you can see. And it is unbelievable at refining texture. Like something between the combination of the niacinamide and the zinc and the hydrating ingredients, it just really smooths out the skin. I am oily. I still want a little bit of oil on my skin. I don't want a product that's going to strip the oil from my skin. This does an amazing job at leaving oil on the skin. It just does a good job of balancing the oil out. At the same time, it just refines the texture. And so I use this in the morning. Like I said, all my products are unscented, fragrance-free. This kind of smells a little bit like chalk. That is a mineral smell. It's the smell of the zinc in it. You can use this over the vitamin C serum, or you can use it over the peptide serum. I like using this second because of the fact that it really refines the texture and it dries completely matte, whereas the vitamin C serum is going to leave your skin slightly dewy and hydrated feeling. It's not greasy, but a little bit like moisturized feeling, versus this really is going to dry completely matte and luminous. So I always use this second if I am going to use it with the peptide serum or the vitamin C serum. And then I always follow with the barrier serum and sunscreen. So I hope this was helpful to you. None of these products should be pilling on you, by the way. If any of these products are pilling on you, it's because something else in your routine is not mixing well with this with these products. None of these products pill, but I've had maybe a couple cases over the years of someone telling me that one of the products pilled, and that was because they were layering it wrong or mixing it wrong. So just know that piece of information as well. So I hope this was helpful for you. I will have all the links in the description, and just leave any questions that you may have, and I will see you in my next video. Goodbye.